All right, good morning, everybody. How are you? Daniel Barrett here. It's nice coffee time. It's always nice coffee time. I want to make this video and talk a little bit about risk because I've been running into this. I've been having a lot of conversations with investors running into this issue and kind of wanted to dive into a little bit because I think what a lot of people do is they apply essentially what is traditional advice, our grandparents' advice about risk and risk tolerance and risk management. And they apply that to their investing business. And while that can work in some instances, it's actually very dangerous if you are in a business like we are. So let's dig into this. Let's talk about risk for a second. The traditional way that people think about risk is they think about it as, all right, I don't want to be 100% not risky, right? Because if you're 100% not risky, you never do anything new, you never take any chances. Obviously, you're not maximizing your ability to find cool new things or find new avenues for your business or find new marketing channels, find new ways to find motivated sellers, right? You need to be doing a little bit of exploration in this kind of business world that we're in, right? But at the same time, you don't want to be 100% risky, right? You don't want to bet the farm on every single new thing that you do. You don't want to put your entire life savings into every new marketing channel that you try because that's too risky. And you kind of know that because it's a new thing, you don't know how it's going to perform and it might not work out. So what people tend to do is they tend to go down the middle and they say, okay, I'm going to be a little bit risky and a little bit not risky, and that's going to balance me out. And that balance is what's going to make me safe. But the problem is that that doesn't actually work out that way. What you end up doing is both under exploring, meaning you're not doing enough looking for new things in order to really grow your business rapidly, and you're taking on too much risk because what ends up happening is that those risk that sort of risky side of your business that you're getting into is oftentimes has a bigger downside than we expect. We don't really know what the potential downside of those risks are going to be, and so we end up taking too much risk with not enough safety, and then we end up taking like too much safety with not enough risk, kind of simultaneously. Instead of finding the golden mean, what we end up doing is making a compromise that makes nobody happy and actually exposes us to a lot more danger in our businesses and than we expect. Both the danger of kind of complete destruction where your business explodes, you lose all your money, and then the danger of growing too slowly, right? Which is just kind of another danger where you're just kind of grinding it out forever and you're never really going to get to where you need to be. So what is the solution to that? What is the kind of ideal risk management, sort of risk tolerance scenario? Well, rather than trying to go in the middle, think about dividing those two things and stacking them up on opposite sides of a spectrum. So over here you have absolute safety, almost no risk. And most of your business, you kind of stack in this almost no risk kind of zone. And then over on the other side, you have a relatively small number of relatively small risks that are very risky, by which I mean you are doing experiments that are very risky, very new. You've got no idea how it's going to work, but you're doing them in a way where you cap the downside. So rather than having kind of in the middle where you try to smush these things together, you separate them out and you have incredibly safe channels and then you have very risky channels in relatively small amounts. So how would this work for a real estate investor? Let's say direct mail is your bread and butter. It's the thing you believe in. It's the thing that you trust, right? You know how it works. Most of your business is going to be invested, most of your marketing budget is going to be invested into direct mail because you're like, cool, I know how that works. And then you're going to try a bunch of new channels over here, but put relatively small budgets into them. right? Because the upside of finding a new marketing channel that really brings in sellers for your business is massive. I mean, we're talking about the ability to double the size of your business if you've only got one channel, right? It's huge. But the risk, of course, is high because you don't know how it's going to work, right? Simultaneously, let's say that online marketing is your thing. Online marketing is my thing, obviously, like what I do, right? It's like I help investors get more deals online. That's what I do. And if you ever want to know more about what we do, you want to talk to someone on my team, you can go to motivatedsellerleads.com. That you can go find that there. But let's say you're already doing online, you're crushing it, and SEO is where most of your leads are coming from, right? So you're doing SEO, you're getting free leads from the internet every single day, filling up your CRM. Awesome. So you're going to spend most of your time and money making sure that that channel, your bread and butter, is killing it. But then you should be testing with relatively small budgets, Google ads, Bing ads, YouTube ads. You should be testing Facebook ads. You should be testing Facebook to cold audiences. You should be testing targeting your mailing lists on Facebook. You should be testing all sorts of stuff, right? Because even though this thing is killing it over here, SEO, and that's where you're investing a lot of your time, the upside of finding the next thing is massive. But again, the risk is high. So rather than think about, okay, I want to be 50-50 risk averse and risk tolerant, instead, push those things away from each other, go to opposite ends of the spectrum, and see what it can do for your business. Because what this does is it caps your downside by making sure that you know what the potential downside is. We're like, look, I only put $1,000, $2,000 into Google ads. I know what I can lose, right? So there's that. You cap the downside. You're keeping yourself safe by investing in the thing that's really doing it for you. You're capping your downside, but you're exposing yourself to massive amounts of upside because, again, make that thing work, the impact on your business is going to be huge. I hope that makes sense. Leave me a comment or whatever if you have a question. I'm happy to dig into it. But really, really interesting. I've been applying this to my own business and life and seeing really pretty interesting results from it. And I think that you could really improve your business if you apply it to how you think about real estate investing. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.